In this lesson, we are going to look at adding users to our QuickBooks Online. Depending on which version you have will determine how many users you can add. So let's go ahead into it. This is the main screen that comes up when you log into QuickBooks. Up here to the right is our settings wheel. We're going to go over and do manage users, which is under your company. First thing you notice, there are two different lines here. There's the users and accounting firms. Users will show up down here. Once you add them, depending on your version, you can have up to 25 if you're in the advanced version. Over here under accounting firms, great feature of QuickBooks, you're able to add accountants that will be able to get in here and look at your data. You can add up to 2. If you have the advanced version, you can add 3. All you need is your accountant's email. You can put it in down here, send invite, that sends an email to your accountant, and they can just click on that and load it into their system. Real good feature. And it does not count toward your users at all. So let's go ahead and add a user. So if you click on add user, first thing is it's either a standard or a company admin. If you have just the simple start, then you will only have the company admin feature. You can't add different user types, but if you have something other than simple start, then you will be able to add a company admin and then users that don't necessarily have all the admin features. If it's company admin, obviously they have all the rights. They can do absolutely everything that QuickBooks allows you to do. If that happens to be your accountant, you can click on that, and then you will only be able to have one accountant user after that. Always good, though, to set up a company admin apart from your accountant, unless maybe your accountant is the internal accountant for your company, then that might be something that you would consider setting up. If not, have an admin outside of that, maybe an owner, maybe a computer person. Always good to set that up. So if we are a standard user, we can always put on there that they can only look at the reports only, or they can just look at time tracking. So let's go ahead and add a user. We're going to add a standard user. Again, this would be in versions greater than Simple Start. So let's go ahead and add a standard user. So when you click Next, this screen shows up, and you can now determine how much access you want to give them. So if you want to give them full access to your QuickBooks, all the different features, then you would go ahead and click on All. If you don't want them to have any feature at all, to be able to do anything other than maybe manage their own timesheets, then you would click under None, but you have given them access into the system so they can manage their own timesheets. But then there's also Limited, and you can click on Limited Access. And so, for instance, say you have a billing department for vendors and for customers. And if you only want them to see the customer side of it, then you would click on their customers. It shows you what they can do. Down below here, it shows what they can't do. And again, under vendors, same thing, shows you what they can do. and what they can't do. So let's go ahead and click under All, and we're going to click Next. So now there's some other features, even though they can have access to all the reporting, all the different features, you may want to limit them on what they can and can't do as for instance, adding or editing users. You may only want that for your admin, so you would click No here. Now you could also go ahead and give them the permission to do that, or you can just have them view it only. Also, you can have them edit the company info. What we did earlier, where we were setting up tax forms and company information in the account and settings, if you want them to have access to that, you would click on Yes. If you don't want them to have access to that, you would click No. And then the last one is whether or not they can change your subscription level. If they can, click on Yes. If they can't, then go ahead and click on No, or they can view your subscription level, but they just can't change it at all. Okay, so now we've moved on to this screen where we can add the user information. Just so you know, once we click on Save, it will send an email to that particular user's email address, and they will have to accept it and walk through the process so that they can log into QuickBooks. If they do not accept it and it goes beyond 30 days, you will have to do it again because that will expire. So let's go ahead. You just put your first name, your last name, and the email. The email turns into the user ID for this user, and you click Save, and that's it. Manage users is pretty simple. You can add as many users as your version of QuickBooks will allow you. Again, adding your accountants on the accountant screen does not take up any of your usage for your users. If you're in something other than Advanced, you can add up to 2 accountants. Again, in Advanced, you can add 3 accountants. That's it for Manage Users. Real simple. So now we're going to go ahead in our next lesson and look at the dashboard that is in QuickBooks Online.
I gotcha.